made me feel like more of a man than most women have ever made me feel.
Ronnie really makes you believe in yourself.
Ronnie's slogan is, do your best and then take a big rest. Done. My girlfriend said she wasn't turned on to me anymore. She said I wasn't warm and cuddly enough. And then she left me for a comic book writer.
Tone it up. Now control drop into your face.
I used to go about my day spending tens, even hundreds of calories doing just regular daily activities like lying down, brushing my teeth, reading a book. Now with the Slob 90X program, I can do these things in a lazy, almost catatonic way.
Slob stands for slow, lazy, ordinary body. In just 90 days, I can help you become a computer nerd, a party animal, or just a plain old lovable slob.
All right, welcome to Lunch Therapy. Richard Gaddis, he's a hummingbird on a leafless branch. It's great to see you, Richard. Share us around today. We are here. We have an incredible guest today. Shang, veteran comedian. We'll get into this a little bit more. I wanted to say this week on Tuesday night, I got a couple of shorts in this Hot 30 Shorts contest. They show, it's all short, very short, 30-second films. I got a couple of stand-ups in there that should be really fun. It's at the El Cid Theater. RSVP to the Hot 30. Also, my guest today, Shang, you can catch him in Jimmy Shin's show this week, tonight, I believe, at the Ice House. I think I have a poster right here. There it is. Check that out. 9:15 doors, 9:45 start. Shang is also playing in various places. You can see it on iamshang.com. We'll talk about that later, but I just wanted to put that at the top of the show for those of you that want to see the guest live, besides virtually. Live, breathing the same air in the same room. Yes. Intro to Lunch Therapy is coming at you right now. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 I'm gonna get myself. All right, I want to say thank you to all the Patreons out there for the show. Mike Knox, Todd Lee, Robert Lopez, Jay Patterson, Pam Palmieri, Neil Phillip, Seth Word, and Mary Marks. Couldn't do this show without y'all. If anybody wants to become a Patreon, patreon.com/Joel Marshall. We appreciate your support because it takes a lot of work to do this show. And in this show, the people in the chat room, the hummingbirds, are such a huge part of the show itself. So if you're going along and you're like on Facebook or you're on YouTube during this show today, feel free to put a chat in the chat room or put a comment on Facebook and we'll put it on the screen. You can ask questions of the guest. You can try and throw us off our pins, whatever you want. Come on by and share this around. All right, let's get into this thing. At the top of the show, we always do, for those of you who maybe have never seen Lunch Therapy, we always take 3 deep breaths. A lot of times we have healing vibrations in the background, and we go in through the nose, taking a deep breath. So here we go, in through the nose. Hold it. Let it go. I always appreciate it when the guest is doing the breathing. It's great to have you here, Shang. He's in the green room with Boney here. In through the nose. Hold it. Let it go. One more time. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. There's Travis there from Healing Vibrations. If you ever want to get some sound baths or anything like that for free, go over to Healing Vibrations on YouTube. Travis is like a master of this stuff. Doesn't just play the gong. He also plays crystal bowls, lots of other things. All right, let's get into this because I'm so excited to have this guest on the show. I'm beside myself. I'm beside Travis. Okay, Shang. Who's Shang? Yeah, there you are. You're coming on soon. I can hear you in the chat room. I'm going to just say a little bit about Shang for those of you that don't know him. I mean, he's pretty widely known. He's a transplanted New Yorker. He's masterfully evolved from stand-up comedy to socio-political satire, giving heavy flight to the spoken and outspoken word. His journey to the comedy world has been nothing short of remarkable. He's a veteran comedian. He's kind of, I really appreciate his humor because it's not mean-spirited in any way, but it also does not have conventional boundaries. He really speaks his mind very intelligently, takes care of his audience, and yet also busts their chops as well. The LA Times have praised him provocative, engaging, extremely funny. Philadelphia Weekly, funny, raw, and very insightful. He also has been on television. He's an actor. He's been on NBC's Heroes, CBS CSI, and NCIS, for those of you who like shows with initials. He co-starred in a Honda commercial called Devine Intervention, and his international reach extends to Japan, Ireland, London, Amsterdam, where he's been featured on television shows. And he has his own comedy special, Shang is Shangri. I watched it. It's hilarious. I'm going to show you the trailer before I bring him on. It is Interview Friday. Welcome to Lunch Therapy.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Give it up for the one, the only New York, make some noise! Do you think that women who are pregnant, if they use a vibrator, do you think their kids come out stuttering? All right, think about that. You realize teachers don't make as much money as strippers. So you know what I think? The teachers need to start stripping. That'd be the shit. We're going to learn a little bit about history, but first, Miss McGillicuddy's going to do a pussy pop off the pole. There are people who are racist and religious. I don't know how the fuck you do that. How the fuck you do that shit? I love Jesus, baptized by the blood of Christ myself. I always love my 8-pound, 7-ounce baby Jesus. I always have. But, what are we going to do with these niggers is what I'm trying to ask you. I don't think white people wake up and think white. You don't wake up and go, I'm white. You don't do that shit. Just like black people don't wake up and go, oh shit, black again, damn. What the fuck? When is this shit gonna fade? This is bullshit. Oh! No! Oh,
I've been knowing this brother for a long time. He got a new 1 hour special coming out. Shang, one name like Sinbad. Shang.
All right.
Wow.
Shang. Yeah.
Wow, that was you know what? One, I like the fact that you started off with breathing. I just started really getting into that. And I think a lot of people don't realize how important that is in the morning. And that's so cool that you knew that that's a good way to start off.
I appreciate that. You know, when I started this show 4 years ago or whatever, when COVID came out, I was kind of nervous. So I would start the show with breathing just to get myself, in the space.
And it actually helps.
It does, doesn't it? It calms your nervous system down.
It tells people it calms your nervous system down. And I think that that was one of the things I was like, wow, I appreciate it. Your graphics are amazing. They're amazing. And that clip of those guys I was cracking up.
Yeah.
You take the donut and you.
All right, I love that. I love that you appreciate it. So, I saw you cracking up in the green room. I love it.
Yeah, I was losing it. So, but no, I appreciate it. I appreciate.
Thanks, man.
I've been lucky to be able to be kind of reliant on myself without representation and still be able to get a pretty good amount of stuff in this business.
Yeah.
But, so far, we'll see.
I'm amazed at your publicity, the way you publicize yourself on your website and the way you have like a mailing list and all the different touring that you're doing. I am really impressed by that because a lot of times we have, comedians can't get their shit together to, publicize themselves, or they don't take it on for themselves. And they're like, why am I not getting booked? Or why am I not doing this? But you're a veteran and you've been doing this for a long time.
29 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I haven't had a day job in 27.
Incredible. I mean, it's
so this is all I do.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you so were you like that from the beginning? From what I understand, you started doing comedy on a dare. Is that right?
Yeah. A friend of mine was like, we went to a club and he said, "You would never do that." And I'm like, "Yes, I would. Absolutely, yes, I would." And I went up and I did it, and I did well. And it was funny. The owner was like, "Man, you should really think about doing this." I gave him my number, and I thought, "No, I'm going back to doing graphics." I used to do graphics and art. I used to ink for back in the day. This is a long time ago for Marvel when Marvel wasn't huge.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I did Daredevil and Torpedo, Ghost Rider, and a character named Shred. And so I did that, and he kept calling me. He kept saying, "I'm telling you, you really should do this." And I was like, I really had a good time, but I don't know if that's a viable way to make a living. And I went back down there and I did it. And then the second time I got hooked, I said, yeah, he's right. And I didn't stop. I haven't stopped since. So that was a while ago, 29 years ago.
I love how you are on stage too, because you're you're very physical.
Yeah.
You also interact with the audience a lot, and you take risks.
Lately I've been writing some stuff that I really take. I wrote some stuff about the Roman Catholic Church. I had some Catholics really get mad at me about it. But it worked, but they were laughing. I'm like, how are you laughing and mad at me? So you're mad at me for what I'm saying about, the priest and whatever. But at the same time, you're laughing. So are you mad at me or are you laughing? But that balance is hard sometimes. I've had some people get really mad. Some of my Trump and Biden stuff.
Yeah.
I've had people that love Biden get mad at me because I think both of them aren't. They aren't exactly.
They're not like our ultimate candidates. I don't think.
No,
you know what I mean? Like this is all we can get. I mean,
this is it.
People get mad at you when you say this stuff because they're like, "Oh my God, you can't have Trump in the office." But at least friends of mine, they're like, but at the same time, you're like, are these the best candidates that we can possibly put forward?
Out of all the people in America, this is it. This is all we got.
It's the system. Our system is kind of.
It's the system, exactly. But I grew up in the punk scene. I used to be real deep into punk scene. It was a thing called straight edge. Yeah, straight edge. I listened to a lot of metal and dark metal, and so the punk scene, I like that freedom of just being able to go for it. So
Yeah.
a lot of the bands that I was influenced by, as a comic, I was influenced by bands more than comics. The freedom, they would say, some
love
of the
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was bands primarily.
Yeah, I grew up during the grunge scene in Seattle.
Oh, I loved the
I-
grunge scene, but there was a few bands, Mudhoney. I
Yeah.
liked Alice in Chains, who
Yeah.
I opened up for. I actually opened
Really?
up for Alice.
No
Yeah,
way.
I opened up for
Wow.
Alice in Chains at the Coach House. I opened up
Wow.
for Alice in Chains. I've opened
Cool.
up for Gwar. I've opened up
Guar?
for
No way.
yeah, Gwar. White Zombie before it was Rob Zombie. It was
Yeah.
White Zombie first.
Yeah.
And so I've opened up for
So you, as a comedian, you were opening up for rock bands.
right because my act was a little too edgy for some of the comedy clubs.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, we'll put him up in front of bands," and those audiences were so hardcore. They rock with me. They were like, "Yeah, man, hamster in the microwave oven, go for it!" Like they didn't give a shit. So that's why. And then I transitioned to comedy clubs. Another comic told me if you tone down on some of the stuff, if you they fuck the government in the ass bits.
Yeah.
Because I was very subversive. I was
Yeah.
very, very, very subversive.
But I feel like, and when I see you now, and maybe I see you at a certain age, that maybe
Yeah.
you're very mature. But I feel like I'm in good hands. Like I don't feel like you say things that make me uncomfortable, but at the same time, I feel like you're going to take care of us. You're not going to get mean spirited. You're not going to hurt anybody.
No.
And you're smart about it. You're really smart about it. So
I appreciate it, man. So, no, I think that right now, as you age, you kind of mellow a little bit. I don't want to sodomize government. I don't. But when I was younger, I just was like, screw
Yeah.
everything.
yeah,
I was very Highlander, like,
yeah.
it's better to burn
out than to fade away.
Than to fade away. I was
Yeah.
very much in that and very extreme. I've always loved that kind of extreme, and I remember this girl I was dating. I was dating her for a while, and she was like, I used to have a dread mohawk, and I was shaved off on the side, and I had blue tips.
Wow.
And she just thought I was a little too much after a while. Because I would go over like 3 a.m. and go, hey, let's go down to the ocean and just swim. And she just after a while, she's like, it's a little too much. But
Yeah.
I just loved that pushing the envelope. And now it's a little bit harder, but I still do it.
Do you think it is harder, right? I mean, but people are saying these days, they're saying, well, in the 60s, you used to get jailed for saying schmuck. So it was a lot harder then, than it is now. So I guess relatively, it might be harder than it was maybe in the 80s or something like that, or like.
It's harder than the 80s and 90s. I think like Lenny Bruce used to get arrested every show.
Yeah.
For using profane language. But if now comedy clubs will just go, like one club simply told me, just said, hey, you know what? We can put you in our downtown club, but we can't put you in our suburban club.
Wow.
Club called Zanies. I don't care.
Yeah.
Zanies. And they I get it. I get it with.
Do you get?
Maybe
I mean, like, here's one. I just want to see this clip right here. I'm going to play this clip.
The country is divided. You can't talk about certain shit, man. People are sensitive. You know why? Because the percentage of the country is dumb as shit. We don't want to talk about it, but no, Alabama, fuck, they're dumb down there. No, I went to Alabama. I'm like, wow, when they're not passing around the family tooth, they are just. No, I'm serious. Like everywhere you go, you hear what you doing outside the perimeter? They're fucking dumb as shit. Oh my God, Mississippi, what the fuck? They think a metaphor is gonna hit the planet and kill us. And there's always one redneck. Metaphors do hit the planet. They hit the outside of the atmosphere, and they break into 4 other metaphors. And then you gotta hire Bruce Willis to go up on the metaphor Put a bomb on the metaphor, blow it up, and save America. America, fuck yeah.
I love that.
Oh, wow.
I mean, people know you're kidding. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's comedy,
I
for
think-
God's sakes.
No, I think that as I got older, and an older OG comic, Rick
Yeah.
Overton, told me, because but first I was just straight,
Yeah.
Sam Kinison in your face, raw. What's up?
Yeah.
And then he said that, are you having fun when you do that sometimes? So the more I started having fun with it, lightening up, still saying the edgy shit,
Yeah.
but lightening up when I said it. And then I started having more fun, and then I could tell the crowds were having more fun.
They were having a blast. You can tell they're having a blast. And you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know what happens if you go down to the South and do that, but if people can, I don't know. I don't know.
I
what
know.
happens.
No, I've done that down south. And
Have you?
like I've had people come over. Hey man, look, man, you had me at all your other jokes, the stuff about the government and stuff.
Yeah.
As soon as you start saying that, we're dumb down here, you lost me.
Yeah.
And I said, where did I lose you? Now you're asking me questions. You know that hurts my head. Why are you doing that? But no, I do it.
Yeah.
That's the punk part of me where I will say this in Mississippi about Mississippians, because there's people in Mississippi that know they feel that way about other Mississippians.
Yeah.
So I think the country does have a pocket of ridiculous ignorance, and they know it. I know in New York City, there's pockets of just frighteningly stupid people.
It's unfortunate. I love the rant that you had about Fox News too. I love how honest you are about that shit.
Yeah, but I got in trouble with some of the producers on that.
I bet you did.
Because I have a whole bit about that, and the thing about it is, I don't mind if you are a propaganda machine. That's fine, but know you're a propaganda machine. Know that you're entertainment. When something major happens, like there's something major happen, and you cut to Skippy the Squirrel on skis, you're not a serious news organization. You're just not. So they got it. They got to get to business. And I don't know how people that watch this show, but I feel like if you do that, like if I do something stupid, I've had comics flat out tell me, I'd rather get checked and change it than to, and we don't do that with Fox News. We don't do that with MSNBC when they're full of shit. And that's why I have this anarchist, almost Joker mentality where, it's like I still kind of trying to figure out how to make that mainstream. I haven't figured it out yet, but I've been lucky enough to get enough bookings to, for some reason, people still book me,
because you're hilarious. Because you're hilarious.
Yeah, but
I love also what you do too. I mean, about a lot of us comedians can look to you as an example of somebody who does act outs really well. Like you do characters.
I do a lot of voices too. Yeah.
Is that something that's developed over time, or were you doing that from the beginning?
No, it developed over time. I was doing voiceovers. I've done a lot of voiceovers. So people are like, why don't you do that on stage? And then I started doing it on stage where I acted it out more because it was more fun to go there. And like I've acted out, like a whole bit, and it made some of the casting people check me out. That's when casting people start going, I think he could probably act.
Yeah.
But initially, no. Initially was all words. I remember my first joke was how when albinos died, they would cremate them, and that's how they made bottles of whiteout.
Yeah.
That was one
of your first jokes.
That was my first. That one, Godzilla having sex with the Statue of Liberty.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, that was my first couple jokes.
Yeah.
That one, and then about religion. I used to rail against religion because I thought it was filled with hypocrisy, and I had a bit about Satan worship. How you had to run out of religions to go, let's go with this Satan guy. Like out of all the religions you go, like, why would you pick that? Let's drink a little baby blood. Let's keep it moving. But some of it, like a club owner at the comic strip, I did a bit. I only had 10 minutes then. And the club owner fired me because someone that was religious got offended of the drink baby blood bit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it did well. I could see if I bombed, it did well, but she was so offended, and he kicked me out. And then another big name comic back in the day got me back in. He said, if he don't work here, I don't work here. But
yeah, Jimmy Shin one time stood up for me too when I was at the club in Portland, where I was doing my serial killer bit, and they didn't like it because they were cops.
Oh,
and
well.
And I mean,
Exactly.
they had just bought the club, and I saw Jimmy like after our set or whatever. He went into the back room with the owners of the thing, and I was like, uh-oh, some shit's going down. But then he like stood up for me, and we had a good long talk on the curb about it, because that's something that happens to comedians. I mean, that's something that maybe comedians don't realize, but you're going to offend the wrong person sometime if you're doing your job right. You're going to offend somebody.
That's a very good point. I think that you have to, but it depends on what kind of comic. I know some comics that just want to, like, you have a serial killer bit. Think about that. Like,
right.
Think about the fact you said, you know what? There's something funny in this whole serial killer. Like something in your mind. And that's why I think comics think differently. I think we we literally skew it in a direction that is not the normal direction. So that's why I enjoy, I'm still doing it. Even the times where I don't get a shot at something or something goes bad, I still enjoy the process. Even though some of the clubs are full of shit, some of the way they treat comics are full of shit. The fact we're getting paid the same as we got paid 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that part bothers me, you know, but we got to do it. We get up on stage. Like when you were in Portland, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
When you were in Portland, you were just doing your thing, and they are the ones that were in their feelings, because you were not.
Yeah, I think that's why Jimmy brought me up there, because I'm from Seattle, and they thought that my jokes about serial killers from the state of Washington or whatever would go over really well in Portland. And apparently, it goes over well in Seattle, but for some reason, it was just the one guy or the two guys who owned the thing that were upset.
Were offended.
I mean, it's very innocuous if you were to see the set. It's one of my favorite bits, but it's very innocuous. I'm just basically saying those were our role models when we were growing up. We're serial killers because they were the only professions around.
That's a pretty dark bit.
I know, it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark. You're right.
Like to think like, this is one. Like, I used to do a bit about punching babies.
Oh,
and people would be like, what made you think of that? I said, because sometimes babies get out of line.
Right.
And they think they can take you. You have to prove to these little bitches.
But they gotta know they gotta know that you're just being ridiculous.
Being ridiculous.
Yes.
And there have been women. I did a comedy club. I was at I can say it, at the Haha. I was at the Haha Comedy Club. Some lady came outside and met me to cuss me out about the baby bit, and had a Bible with her.
Wow.
She brought a Bible to read to you in the Bible about what I'm doing is wrong. And I was like, oh, I wish somebody would have filmed it. Because we had a discussion. I go, you know that I'm being absurd. I don't really punch babies. I'm not or
advocate it, in any way, shape,
like
or form. I'm a comedian.
It's I'm not.
But the thing is, you're smart, Shang, and you get that when you watch you on stage, that you're smart. And so, there are comedians out there, I know, like from going to open mics and stuff like that say nasty, mean shit, and they kind of mean it. You know what I mean? And but that, and I think that's what I always ask myself about comedians is like, is this mean-spirited? Is this hurting somebody? Because you talk about teachers, stripping in class. You talk about that they don't get paid enough, so there's they should have some sexual perks, and that's hilarious. And I would only think that teachers would think that was funny because it's ridiculous.
No, I've done it in front of teachers.
Yes,
they hired me. The teachers, they had their Christmas party, and at the Improv, and I was the one they hired, and they were like, specifically do that bit.
Yeah,
and I haven't done that bit in a bit, and and they were cracking up. And it's a longer bit. It's a longer bit.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
It's more to it. But I thought, how could I even? When I was writing it, I was like, I literally was writing it, going, wonder how far I could push this.
Right.
And then I said, we gotta go with the teachers fucking the kids. Let's go.
Right.
And so I went there. But I think that as comics, like you having a Satan bit, not a Satan bit, a serial killer bit.
Yeah.
To me, it's like you took something that could be dark and made it funny and made people, enjoy it. That's what this is. That's the magic of this shit of comedy.
Greg Wordla is a teacher. He says, yep, stripping is a second career for most teachers. I know I make a couple of tens every weekend. See? Proof.
See? No, I think that sometimes I think we've gotten too sensitive. I think sometimes some of the stuff we do in life, we're a little too sensitive. Like I've seen, they said one time a friend of mine was like, well, white comics are doing black jokes. I'm like, were they funny?
Yeah.
And then I asked him, are you okay? Are you going to be all right? He said, yeah, I'm all right. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go get it. Let's go get a salad. What do you, like, what's wrong with you? Like I've seen comics do horrendous shit. What's his name? He works with Joe Rogan. Tony. Kill Tony.
Yeah, Kill Tony.
Yeah, and he does horrendous shit, and I don't care. I like, do your thing, do your set. Hopefully, the people have a good time. This is a very, very like solo type of thing. Once you get on stage, I'm into all of the camaraderie of comics, but at the same time, when you get on that stage, it's on you.
It's on you.
Yeah,
well, that's the other thing is you have to establish yourself. When you get on stage, you're a well-known comic, but I'm sure sometimes you need to establish yourself as who you are when you get on the stage. And maybe, I don't know, what would your advice be to people that want to kind of push the envelope that people don't know who they are? Yeah.
Oh, I would say have fun with it. Yeah. Push the envelope, but have fun with it. Just like Rick Overton. Got to give props out to Rick Overton because that's the one who told me to have fun with it. And I noticed a shift in my sets where I was doing well, but I wasn't like murdering. Mm-hmm. And I started murdering more on stage when I kind of started having fun with. Yeah. And then like, even when I say the bit, I haven't done it. Damn, I got to bring that bit back because that bit used to rip. About punching babies. What part of, hey, sometimes these babies get out of line and think they can take you. And you got to prove it. You got to prove to them.
So ridiculous.
Like, why would you, in your mind, go, yeah, these babies have been talking a lot of shit.
That's on you, for sure.
Think that. Like, so, to think that. So that's why I think if you're going to push it, just have fun with it. You double down, but you double down on the funny. Yeah. I would say I'm a well-known to a point comic because I still have total struggles. I've been blessed. I've been doing pretty well, but at the same time, like, I don't have a manager.
Yeah, I'm amazed that you don't. I mean, do you not want one, or is it something you don't know?
No, the managers I met with, one guy managed me and said, well, I don't know what else I could do for you. I mean, you're booking stuff, you're getting TV shows on your own, you're like, what I could do for you? I said, take some of the load off of me.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing the whole thing, and you've already got it all set up for people.
And as Matt said, babies are so dumb, they can't even read. Whoever's in your feed is I love them. They say, yeah, babies. Hey, babies. What's up, babies? You can't even read. You don't even really know what I'm saying, do you little dumb bastards? That's why you get punched. I think that like for me, it's just my work ethic. Get up in the morning, make sure I send out my emails. The social media has changed my work week because I have to post, cut clips. I'm going to hire somebody to do it. And this is the wild part. I can actually afford to hire somebody and I still do it myself.
Well, you know why? I mean, I find, at least, if I hire somebody to cut clips for me, they won't cut them the way I want them to be cut. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like, you took out the best part of it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we get a little bit... Because when you craft a stand-up bit, you know exactly how it works. So when somebody like chops the wrong, like I'm probably doing that today, chops the wrong bit of it, part of it, you're like, oh, that's not the way I want to present that. You know what I mean?
Right. But now I do stuff in to meet the way people think now. So I make sure some bits have a beginning, middle, end, pop. Beginning, middle, end, pop.
Yeah.
And by the way, Matt Wright, is it Matt Wright? We're going out and we're gonna go out and punch some babies together. Yeah, me and you. We're gonna go to the nursery, and if they start talking shit, take them out of the incubator.
Matt was the lead singer of Gas Huffer, which is a very like kind of punk band from Seattle back in the day. Wow. So you guys are of the same ilk.
I love Seattle crowds. And they seem like they got me early.
Yeah.
When I came out, I did San Francisco. When I first came to the West Coast, I did San Francisco and Seattle were my first two. San Francisco was first, then Seattle. I did Seattle. Wow. The Comedy Underground. That was the name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to play another clip from you. This is kind of an example of what you're talking about.
But I hate stereotypes. That's what gets on my fucking nerves. Stereotypes. And every black person knows what I'm talking about. I hate when they automatically think I'm a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You've been at a party where you're the only black person at a party, and it's all white people, and they come up to you and go, "Psst, where's the weed at?" Why the fuck are you asking me? Meth. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
I love that.
Don't be yogurty.
What is don't be yogurty? What does that mean at the end there?
Don't be yogurty is going to be the name of my new special.
Oh yeah, all right.
And it's about stop being soft. Stop being so yogurty and soft. So that's going to be the name of the new special. I'm thinking about shooting it. I literally was going through looking at theaters. The last one I went back home and did it. I did it in New York. I'm gonna do it here, and I'm gonna do it here in LA. And I've literally been looking at theaters, but if I self-produce it, it's got to be, obviously you got to think of budget. But I mean, I want a nice, cool theater. I want a theater that has some character. That one I did was just big. The one we did 2 shows.
I know. Did you produce that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Me, it was Adam Wasserman, myself. That he was more investor. He wasn't the. He was one of the investors. Myself, and a company named Killer Bunny, and we just they saw me on a show. I did a show called Gotham Live, and they're like, "Who works with you?" I said, "Me." I said, "Hey, I'm saving up money to do a special." And they said, "Well, we want to get in business with you." So I said, "Well, I'm really about this. I'm really going to do it. So you better once we start rocking, once we start rocking, like the music keeps going. You know what I'm saying? We're going to really play this song to the end."
Yeah.
And they were with it. So we did it. It was a place that we did 2 shows, 2,500 people a show. I had an audience for it. Yeah, big play. Well, you see the size of it.
So good.
And the crowd, we had a good warm up. So by the time I get on stage, it was full blast. I was like, let's go.
There's that clip in the thing of you before you go on stage, and you're like, if they don't like it, that's on them. It's too bad. Do you have stuff go through your head before you go on stage that is like negative at all? Or did you ever? Yeah.
I not as much now. Now I'm like, I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? Hey, I'm serving a hot, steamy, good dish. If you don't like it, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you can't act like it's not hot and steamy.
Yeah. It's definitely hot and steamy. I do feel like it's like a stew. You went out there. A lot of times you see people's specials and they're so, they seem so planned. Now I'm doing this bit, now I'm doing this bit. You seemed so in sync with the audience, and relaxed.
Oh, no, I you know why I was relaxed? I ran the set 8 times back to back.
Oh, did you?
Every night back to back. And then I said, I'm going to leave room for if something happens.
Yes.
Or I went off. So I went off of my set I did an hour 10. I went off of my set about maybe 20 minutes out of the hour 10. Literally.
Really?
And whatever happened. So.
And it shows. It shows how loose you were. And also, it's a really good I think that's a really good point, because a lot of times people think, oh, I'm just going to, go up there and wing it or whatever. And it's actually a combination of practice, and then letting it go when you get on stage, letting it go and being loose. And you can't have one without the other.
I don't know if you guys think about this, but I love pear juice. I know this sounds weird. I literally liked it. Before I did this special, I said, I'll be fine if you just give me some pear juice. So I was downstairs in the dressing room, and they're like, what is Shang doing? I'm like, I'm chilling, drinking some pear juice. And so when I say that, people go, what? And then so when I came on stage, the first couple jokes, I said, you know what? I'm here now. I'm literally thought, I'm going to throttle these motherfuckers. And so as soon as I walked backstage, and Carol Montgomery is another person we were working with, she was like, you okay? I'm saying, yeah, I'm fine. I said, you know you're about to go up. I go, yeah, I know. I had some pear juice. I'm good to go. Let's go. So when I got on stage, I was like, I'm gonna have fun. And I thought, if this goes, like, I did a bit about my ex that she was very mad
I
about.
wondered about that. Yes, that was God. And
oh,
you're like, I know you're watching.
yeah, because I was like, yeah, you didn't want to support me now. And this is the best part of it.
Yeah,
we broke up, and then her mother was like, because I was very responsible in a relationship. I just I felt like she just couldn't deal with the late nights, even though I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't fucking around or nothing. Yeah. It's just that you have to have a certain demeanor to deal with somebody like, hey, what time are you coming home? I'll be home around 1.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Jokes. I'm actually out doing jokes. I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not having sex with dwarfs. I'm doing jokes. So
having sex with dwarfs. I'm sure that's what she was worried about.
Well, she was because she knows when I get around dwarfs, I do get a little. Come on, dwarf vagina. I heard is awesome. It's like Middle Earth dwarf vagina. It's just.
I hear it's almost as good as dolphin blowhole.
It's not, well, dolphin blowhole I'd say is better. Plus the dolphins, they know what's up. Dolphins are almost the smartest people, and they know.
I gotta play that clip.
Oh yeah, well, people get offended at that too.
Really, I bet.
Hey, what's going on? We're at the Atlantis Dolphin Cay. Yeah, whatever that means.
It's key, but they just spell it with a C.
With a C. Oh, okay, got it.
It's Bahamian.
It's Bahamian. Oh, it's Dolphin Cay.
Yeah.
This child's having a very good time with this dolphin. This lady's a little too close to this dolphin. A lot of hugging. Kind of freaky. Very good. I am not allowed to go back in with the dolphins because apparently you're not allowed to put your penis in the dolphin hole.
Oh my God.
And after that, I was not allowed to. The security told me I had to leave. So we can continue with that. So.
Oh God.
It's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Somebody came in and said, stop, Big Nasty.
Yeah, Big Nasty.
Yeah.
I know. That's Jay Patterson. They call her Big Nasty sometimes.
Okay. No, you know what? I like sometimes I found in my relationships.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't know how to take me. They're going because I will say something, they'll go, what? Where did that come from? So now I need somebody that has. I was just talking to a friend of mine. He's trying to get me hooked up with somebody, and he said, but I told him she gotta have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
She can't be like, I literally we're going to die. So in the interim, you better go enjoy yourself. Sometimes I love going to I like looking at some people think I'm weird. I like sitting on rocks, at some of the rocks up and looking at the ocean and listening to some fucking great tunes.
Me too.
And just zone out sometimes. And I know that some people go, what? I'm like, yeah, I literally would drive up, and PCH and just park and listen to some of my favorite songs. Right, like right now I'm into Seven Dust. I love Seven Dust. And there's a couple really, bombastic bands I like that are really Dub War, which is like a reggae metal, Skin Dread, just like really weird mix. Fishbone I always love.
Oh, yeah.
So So I just do that sometimes, and I think
love that. I
sometimes-
had a moment in my life one time where I had a turning point in my life, and I was doing exactly that, looking at the sea, listening to Back in the High Life by Steve Winwood. You know what I mean? And it changed my whole life. Like that moment.
Yeah,
I took a
you
different
have to do
direction
that.
after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to do that, and I got to do that more. I think I've been busy doing shows, but I'm telling you, you got to do that as much as anybody in the feed. I know somebody said, "Yeah, pear juice is definitely the key." No, it's good. It makes you know what? It makes your cum so delicious. That's what I heard.
That's what they say about pear juice.
That's what they say about pear juice and pineapple juice. I've never tasted my own jizz, but that's what I heard.
Well, that's why they call it pear nectar, because it's nectar of the gods.
It is nectar. It is called nectar. But I think that as comics, anybody that's a comic knows that, people don't realize it's difficult to get up there sometimes and get on stage, and especially with a crowd that you're watching the other comic before you.
Yeah.
Yes, Kamala, reggae metal. Check out Skin Dread. Look up Skin Dread. You look up Dub War. It's a mix of reggae and metal. It's the most weird,
that's cool.
stuff. And no, I do not drink my own cum. No, wow. Your audience is a little wild.
They're into it. They're into this. They're totally into this. Do you drink your? Oh my God, so. Kamala, that's terrible.
Yes,
that's my wife, by the way.
That's why I said, hey, no, I don't. That's what I heard.
Oh my God.
That's what somebody told me. I think that as comics, don't you think, I'm going to ask you a question too. Don't you think sometimes when you're sitting there waiting to go on that, I think that's the people think, oh, do you get nervous before that? Yeah. It's weird. Once you get on the stage, you gotta just go. Yeah. But I used to get nervous. I don't get nervous now because I'm so fuck it now. But before, when I was younger, I would get nervous, especially if another comic's destroying before me. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like, stay in my lane. I'm gonna just stay in my lane. If I do well, great. Like bad sets don't bother me at all. Mm-hmm. I just, like, if I have a bad set, I go, you know what? Somebody's living in a tent.
Yeah.
And, literally, that's their home.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine. Even if I wasn't doing good, I'm still doing fine because I have my limbs. I have my eyes. I can see. I'm still here. Yeah. There's so many comics I know that have passed away. During COVID, COVID.
Yeah.
My cousins, my brother passed last year, my pops.
Oh, God.
So my thing is, you better embrace and have gratitude and grab life and grab it by the back of the hair and just say, make life your bitch. You just can't. You can't let it. So a bad set, I go.
Put it in perspective.
Yeah, I definitely put it.
Also, sometimes you have to go through the bad sets to get to the good ones.
Let me tell you, when I was doing a bit about suicide and about, I was trying to call a suicide hotline and I end up calling sex hotlines. And
really?
And some of the stuff I would get on the phone and they're trying to, basically make me masturbate, and I'm just like, no, I'm calling for a different kind of help. But that was because I was so extreme. But I think that right now I'm just having fun with it. If I don't make it to the level, like I know all the heavy hitter comics. I literally know. I know the Chappelles and the Bill Burrs, and I know all of them. And if I don't make it to their level, the thing is, which it's very difficult to do. I'm just gonna have fun, man.
You're killing it. You're killing it. You are really killing it.
Chuck Goldsmith, suicide is overrated.
It is way overrated. For sure.
It's way overrated. Like somebody kills themselves, you go, look at that hack. You're just a hack.
The only time somebody committed suicide where people were like, oh my God, I wish I thought of that, was at the Magic Castle. One of the magicians killed himself before he went on stage. Before he was going to go on stage in the green room. And I remember I was taking classes over there, and I remember going over there thinking, wow, I was going to be really down about that. I better not mention it. And one of the magicians was like, yep, he killed himself. Oh, God, I wish I would have thought of that. That's the ultimate disappearing act.
Oh, that is so good. But see, I know people that get offended by that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course people would get offended by it. I mean, it's a serious subject. But, you know,
yeah,
that's what comedy's for, is to lighten up the serious subject.
Oh.
Everybody, I don't have to tell you that.
Yeah, no, I don't. I got some of the new shit I'm writing. If you saw some of my new notes are but the bottom line is I was trying to write bits that I was having fun with. Does that make sense? Like I would think like me and one of my exes, I've had 3, so I don't act like it's not a plethora. It was basically 3. I for some reason I'd be with somebody real long time and then we used to joke about cancer. Like you walk up and I would just press her on the shoulder and go, you know what? Cancer.
No.
Like some people would go, what? And then like she say something to me and go, you know what? You're gonna get cancer. Like and people would think, yo, you guys belong together because you're both laughing at really, and I'm like, of course I don't want her to get cancer. It's
of course
fucking
not.
Yeah, we're joking.
Duh.
And there was another bit I was doing a bit about I used to make fun of religion because I just thought that the levels of hypocrisy, some of the wars we've had, some of the things that were based on religion. So I used to delve into that, like jump deep into it and do bits on stage about it. I have a new bit about that now, but I think that you got to push those envelopes. And there's people that have actually come over to me and said, yo, I never thought about it that way. I guess the priests are really out of line.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, I think diddling the kids is a little out of line.
I think that's a bit out of line. You know, it's interesting what you say though about relationships. There's the film Annie Hall, and I've rewatched it recently, and Woody Allen is doing a lot of his stand-up in the movie. You realize that later after you've been doing stand-up, but then also you realize the reason they are like soulmates is because they make each other laugh. She laughs at all his jokes. So in the movie, they break up, and then he's with another woman, and he's making all these jokes, and she does not laugh. She's like, I don't get it. Takes everything literally, and it speaks exactly to what you're talking about. It's like you got to be able to understand each other's humor, but also being a stand-up comic is taxing, right? I mean, on your on everything, right?
No, I mean, I've lost. I haven't lost as many friendships, which is if people think, oh no, most of the comic friends that I'm friends with, I was friends with for decades, and even if we don't talk to each other for a long time, we'll see each other. It's like we hadn't seen it. Like it was yesterday. Like, hey, what are you doing? So I think that comedy is supposed to be like, as a comic, you're supposed to be kind of a nomad to a point. There's a little bit of nomadic thought process to it, but I think that if you can balance both, because I have 2 children, so I have 2 boys. Wow. And
how old
one
are
of them
they?
lives with. I have a 26-year-old and a will be 16-year-old.
Wow.
And he's with my youngest is with his mom now. He was with me from 6 weeks until 13, and then my other one was from a one-night stand. I don't drink, and you know what? You fucking comedians. I came to visit LA. They were like, you gotta have one drink. You never tried it.
No.
Quit being this is the first thing I knew I shouldn't have did. As soon as they said, quit being a pussy. And I was like, I'll show you. Yeah.
Oh no.
And kid. And they were having a bridal shower. Didn't know they were. And I was like, hey, I like that one. And so that's where my kid came from, man. But I mean, he's been with me the whole time, so
that's great. I mean,
he's a good dude. He's a good dude. He gets it. No, he gets me. He gets me. He gets that. I think that my youngest at first didn't. It's like, you tell me not to cuss and you cuss. I mean, I saw your video. You can't. I said, because they pay me. They pay me to cuss. You can't call your teacher a whore. You just.
But I can.
I can. Daddy can call your teacher. What do you mean? You gotta see, you whore? You whore. you whore, you harlot. Never call the teacher a harlot because then she'll target your kid. Hey, yeah, she didn't like me after. I was joking.
Yeah.
I said, and the lady was like, "What did you call me?" I said, "Yeah, you heard me. You heard me. You know you heard me. You whore. You're being a whore." And but then later on we became friends, which is weird. She says, "Oh, I didn't know you were a comic. I just thought, why is he acting like this?" And then afterwards, her and her husband came to my show and was like, "Oh, that's why his dad's like that." And after that, they were super cool.
He's challenged. He's mentally challenged.
He's something. I thought you were just. I'd pick my kid up from the school, and I would be like, he would go. I was when they were little. I kind of was a good bad dad because I was like, "Hey man, you want to watch some horror movies?" Like I would let them watch shit I really shouldn't let them.
Yeah.
And this was like, just have fun with them. And that was the thing between me and my relationship was, they were like, "Oh, you're always the fun dad, and I got to be serious." I'm like, I'm serious when it comes to making sure that the roof over the head and the money and everything else.
Yeah.
But the other stuff, no. I looked at kids like, "Hey, we're gonna have some fun." We would do wild shit. I mean,
really?
I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, yeah." And mothers don't really see,
value?
when you're playing wrestling, and you break the couch twice.
Yeah.
I'd have him body slam me. I'd act like he would body slam me, and he body slammed me in the couch, and I broke the couch.
Oh.
I went and bought another couch.
Yeah.
And we broke that one too.
Oh man!
Because you got to come off the top rope, John Cena. You gotta.
Oh yeah, you got to do that. Of course. How is she going to do that in the living room? I mean, where else are you going to do that?
Stop! You're going to break all our shit.
Well, we'll order more. We'll order more. It's
more,
worth it.
exactly.
It's worth it, right?
It's worth it. It was worth. Oh no, we had fun. So, I think that comedy-wise, though, I got to admit, there's a lot of comics that are kind of finally getting to see my kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Before they thought, you just don't want to get booked. You don't want to get booked at some of the big clubs. I'm like, I already worked the big clubs.
You already do, yeah. Yeah.
They were just like, well, you got to fashion your stuff that's real palatable for the industry. And I'm like, or I could just do my shit and have the industry rock with me.
Yeah. What about like an acting agent? Shouldn't you have that? Do you have that?
I had one for a while, and I was booking a bunch of stuff, and then I started using Casting Call and Casting Wire, and I started getting some stuff myself.
Yeah.
And I found that because of my look, it was easier to get in independent movies than it was.
The mainstream stuff.
The mainstream stuff.
I know that. I feel that way. Yeah. But it seems like you could be in lots of different stuff, like cop shows and all that. You were on all the CSIs and all that stuff.
I've done all of the NCIS. That was hilarious. You said all the stuff. You like shows with letters.
That's right.
I was like, what? No, I've done all of those. I've guest starred on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Wow.
But I'm just I've had some pretty good parts. I'm not going to act like I haven't, because that was like, no, I haven't got the real things I've ever wanted. I've had some good parts, but I just I fluctuate where I'll be into the acting for a little bit, and then stand-up just kind of takes over, and I go. But I really enjoy stand-up more than acting. Mm-hmm. Even though, or if it's acting, it has to be something that really has some meat to it, some grit. And there's a lot of the roles where it's like, okay, you're gonna be gang banging number 2, and I'm going, no, I won't. But I did a show, Homefront, where I was a lieutenant. And of course they're like, hey, we got to hide the tattoos and all of the piercings and stuff. I've said, of course, would you shave your head? No, I won't shave my head. But, they end up, will you cut it down? Of course, I'll cut it down, but I don't want to shave my head. I don't know why I should have just been like, fuck yeah, I would do it. So when I did it, they were surprised that I could pull off the gravity that they want, the gravitas of the character. And I said, you don't understand, comics have that in them. If you look at who's Steve Martin is a great dramatic actor. If you look at Jim Carrey, I think Jim Carrey.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, one of my favorite movies. Yeah.
Just absolutely, he knocked that out the park.
Yeah.
So
also like Howie Mandel in that show St. Elsewhere years and years ago.
Yeah.
He was great.
Howie Mandel, Robin Williams, even though
Michael Keaton.
Absolutely. So I don't think they realize comedians can pull off that side of it. It's harder for an actor that is dramatic to be comedic than it is a comedic actor to be dramatic.
Well, a lot of times
In my
also
opinion.
the comedians understand humor and how comedy is deadly serious a lot of the times. You know, to
That's a
act
great-
comedy,
wow,
it's
that's a
deadly
great way.
serious. Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I never, when I would do a dramatic role, I played a character named Wolf for this like underground movie, and I took it like, okay, this guy's a pretty intense guy. He's not to be fucked with, so you have to get in that mentality. But my normal personality is kind of goofy. I joke a lot, and I have a lot. I joke sometimes too much, but so that whole time I said I can't do that when I do this. I mean, they hired me. This is 4 weeks. I got to make sure that I'm on it. And so it was weird when I would do it, and then afterwards they would hang out with me and go, "What was that? You're not." I thought you. I'm like, no. I'd have to focus to be that way all the time.
Yeah.
And then when I got done, I was like, "Woo, yeah."
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Let's go watch. Hey man, let's go watch some cartoons, man.
Right. You got to get into that zone. My wife was at an audition the other day, and she was like sitting on the bench before she was going in, or whatever. Actress went out, and later on, the actress said, "What's the matter? Did something terrible happen?" And she's like, "No, I was just preparing for the scene." You know, she was sitting there ready to go in, but you can't be like, "Ha ha." I mean, I guess some people can be like, "Ha ha," and then go in and just fucking nail it. But I don't know any people like that. You know what I mean?
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I have to really, really get into it, and then when I'm done, then it's pear juice and hookers.
It's all pear juice and hookers from here on out.
That's the name of my new album, by the way.
I think so.
Chuck Goldsmith, make sure you buy it. Pear juice.
Yeah, he's gonna buy it for sure.
Hookers.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I appreciated the fact that they gave me the opportunity. I did another one where I was and I didn't want to do it at first because I'm like, I don't want to be a pimp. But when they told me, no, he's actually a businessman. He acts like a businessman. He doesn't act like a pimp.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that one. Trunked.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said,
and you're very like straight in that movie. I mean, you're not like
I want to be
you're not playing pimp, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I didn't
love
want to do. So but it was $5,000. And I was like, so wait a minute. You had me 3 days. You want me to shoot? And we were in Wyoming. I said, we're going to fly to Wyoming and shoot for 3 days. You're going to give me $5,000. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. And then when I got there, I said, okay, so I can't be. I was joking with the cameraman because the cameraman was so fucking chill, and he heard me listen to music. He goes, "Oh, you actually like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, this is one of my favorite bands." And I was listening to some old remix of Zeppelin. I love old. And my pops got me into Hendrix. And my pops got me into Hendrix, and I just went fucking bananas. And then Zeppelin, and then
me too,
and Sabbath, and then Danzig. So I was over there listening to it, and he was into the same shit. So we were joking a lot about and stuff, and it was weird. They would go, "Okay, you guys gotta settle down." So when I did get on the set to do my scenes, I knew I had to stop doing that. But comedy, I think comedy's better. You ever watch a really good comedy movie, even if it's subtle comedy, and like Raising Arizona is over the top. I think that Nicolas Cage just was great in that.
He was great in that. I also love like Wedding Crashers. I don't know if you've seen that in a while.
I love Wedding Crashers.
Hilarious.
And the thing is, it's raw. That movie's raw.
Oh, yeah, that movie is raw. I mean, it is like, there's stuff now that if you were to make that movie, people would be like, you can't do that.
You can't do that. Oh yeah. Now it'd be the executives. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, they just
Exactly.
beat the comedy right out of it. The other thing is Vince Vaughn was just apparently on the set was just always like looking for something more, and he would ask them to do more and more takes and stuff. And it was apparently a lot was him. You know, he really mined that thing for the comedy, and you can tell there's weird shit. You know, in the movie, like the brother gives him a painting or does a painting of him, and when he's walking away, he's got that painting. You know, it's like I don't know if they had it in the script.
Oh yeah, I heard that Will Ferrell pushes it like crazy when he's shooting. Like he just riffs the shit out of it. I don't know if like when you watch the outtakes, and I go, they just let him just go, and that's where the funny came from. I think Will Ferrell is one of my favorite.
Me too.
He's fucking hilarious to me.
But he's like that. Like I was saying, he's always deadly serious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like he plays it. Yeah. But Talladega Nights. I don't know if you've seen Talladega Nights. Anybody have ever seen that? Yeah. Talladega Nights is so funny, and you know, I like stuff like that. So if I would ever get an acting career off the ground, my comedy career, I think I'll be able to put a little bit of a dent in things. But if I get an acting career off the ground, I would love to have very subversive, out there comedies, and I just think that those are the best. Hangover was raw as hell.
It was. Oh, totally.
It was $100 million. It made $100 million. So apparently that works. No, I mean there was what dead prostitutes.
I know.
Kind of wild
there's all kinds of shit going on in that movie.
Yeah, in the movie. So I was like, if they can do that, why couldn't they make more? But you notice not as many comedies come out now. It's more superhero movies, and but those make so much money though.
Oh man, do they ever?
The Batman made $770 million in America. Just America.
I know. It took forever to come out. I thought that thing was never going to come out.
But I mean, and now that they're making the part 2.
Anything. Yeah.
No, they're making part 2 now. I don't know if you ever seen it. So.
I look forward to the Joker because I saw the outtake scene of the Joker. I wonder if there's.
You saw it? I haven't seen the trailer. I know it's coming out, but
he's they shot the Joker in the very first one, but they didn't use it. They just released it later on online, and it's that kid from Saltburn. I don't know his name, but it's really interesting. It should be interesting.
Wow.
I don't know. Now he's like gotten a lot bigger, so I don't know whether he's doing it. Well, I guess that's a huge movie. It's a huge movie.
Yeah. They're making a part 2. I watched it. Me and my son watched it, and I thought this Batman's a little dark. He's beating the shit out of people.
I know, and it was very melodramatic too, which I thought was interesting because the acting style was like a noir movie. And you know what I mean?
Was. You're right. You're right. It was
dramatic.
very noir, very like I was like, okay, the lighting, the way they lit it, the way they played each character. Yeah. I just like it's such a different vibe than what I would normally look for. Yeah. But I love comedies. I love laughing. Because life is there's so much dark shit in life.
There's so much.
So much, and you know, so let's just have fun, and then we'll take Chuck. Is it Chuck Goldsmith?
Chuck Goldsmith,
because he's the one fan. Thank you, Chuck. We're gonna take Chuck. We're gonna take Chuck to Tijuana. We're gonna take him to the Donkey Show. If
that's what it takes, we're
gonna sit him right in the front and say, "Have a good time, Chuck." Welcome to the Donkey Show.
Chuck is an up-and-coming comedian. He's been hitting the open mic at the Comedy Store, and he's a huge fan of Kill Tony's. So,
okay, then he knows.
It's good to acknowledge him. He knows exactly what you're talking about.
Then Chuck, I tell you right now, Chuck, if I ever run into you, say what's up, and then I'm we're going to Tijuana, and we're going to.
He's going to take you up on that.
I know. Really? He'd be like, "Hey man, what's up? What do you want?" I go, "No, I was fucking around. I'm not going to see a donkey.
You're gonna see him at a comedy special. It's a comedy show, and he's gonna be like,
I know.
You told me.
Hey, I'm Chuck. What's up with that donkey sodomizing?
Maybe we'll hit the dolphin show afterwards.
In the dolphin show.
Oh my God, the dolphins.
Yeah, it was so. I was joking with the people because I went swimming with the dolphins.
Yeah.
And I kept asking them like absurd shit. So you think that? What do you think? Will they probably buck me off if I do that? And they're like, don't do that. But they were so serious.
Well, you know, dolphins are highly sexual animals. Did you know that?
Yeah, they'll start humping you back.
They are. They totally are.
I go, oh, okay.
They're going to take you on.
Hey, don't, make sure you don't grab their doors fan a certain way because they will throw you off. And I was like, okay, all right. But then I didn't realize how strong they were. So even if they did want to take me, there's nothing I could do.
I'm going to get me some Shang.
Yeah. You want to stick your penis in my blowhole? Well, it's my turn.
Let's go.
And then I'm like, oh, wow, this dolphin.
I got a penis on my face. I'll take you on.
I'll take you on. I go, oh,
God,
I should have saw that coming. Oh, this is bad. This is bad, people. But no, I ended up, it's so weird. I ended up, and then afterwards the people were like, oh, you're a comedian. That I get it. Yeah. But the one guy was laughing. The lady was not laughing at all because I was just asking, because they have to run through everything you do before you swim with the dolphins, and when you ride on the back, and then they go real fast out in the water and come back.
Yeah.
And they have to tell you, and I was just asking the most absurd questions, and they were telling me stuff. That and stingrays. They said stingrays, don't put your hand near their gills.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They feel like you're trying to smother them, and they will sting you. So when you feed them the octopus, because me and my son did that, we feed them the octopus, you have to make sure your hand is extended. And don't put your hand like this, because they'll start going after your fingers. You have to put it, you have to like put the, and so I was asking them, so you don't stick your fingers in the gills. Got it. What about their butthole? You think they probably, you think that like that? And
Well,
the guy
I
was
mean,
like,
you want to know. Yeah.
What
What do you say?
So don't, why would you ask me that? What is, and he kept looking to the other guy. What is wrong with him? Why is he asking me? That's crazy. That's crazy. No, don't do that. I'm like, I'm not going to do that, man. Come on.
Jeez.
But they're scary. Like when you're in the water, you got to splash the octopus in the water. And the octopus, they give you the dead octopus.
Yeah.
And then you see them coming up under the water, and they're big.
Yeah.
And they got these wings. They got these,
Oh, yeah.
They look like, and they have a thing like a double. Looks like it's so trippy. That's
they got that thing.
Yeah,
I do love those. I love manta rays too. Manta rays are beautiful.
And so
beautiful.
that's why I learned my lesson. I was very careful there.
Yeah.
I joked about the dolphins, but once I got, like I'm 280. I'm 280 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm 6'2", 280. And this motherfucker swam like I wasn't even on his back.
Yeah, really.
They're so strong.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was a chick dolphin.
What the hell?
I figured,
you gotta live, like you said. You gotta live. It's
gotta live.
short.
So I was like, hey, look, we already did the dolphin swim thing together. What are you doing later? I came back later that night.
Yeah.
I plugged a blowhole, and now she's been calling me.
She's calling me.
She likes me.
Just don't drink around him. You can end up with another kid, a dolphin kid.
A dolphin kid.
That might be good though. All right, so now we're gonna have to end the show, unfortunately.
There you go. No, it was cool. Thank you.
And I want to show people where they can go here. I am Shang. I love your posters too. You obviously do a great job.
I make my graphics.
Posters.
Yeah, I make my graphics.
Because see, it helps to have skills.
Yeah,
it helps to have skills.
I make my graphics, and I'll do something. I'll do something really straightforward, or I'll do something that's silly like that one, making silly faces,
or
I'll make it look like Iron Man or whatever. So if you guys ever want to come to a show to see me live, please do. I'll be Howard said he's definitely drinking pear juice tonight.
That's right. That's the secret ingredient.
If you've never tasted pear juice, or you know what's, I know this sounds weird. I got hip to it. I was down in Nassau. I never drank pear juice. And the guy said, you want to try it? It was a mix of pear juice, coconut, coconut juice, and pineapple. I was like, this shit. I've never got an erection drinking juice.
Drinking juice.
But this shit was delicious.
All right, I love it.
So, and then it became a ritual before I said, before I go on stage, I'm going to, before I tape my other show, and then I taped another special, I did, and that's it. And this new one, which I'm scouting for theaters and stuff now, Gary Robinson, who's a comic. You know,
yeah, Gary, sure, of course, yeah.
Gary,
yeah,
and I'm going to work with him and Keita. And
Keita, we had him on the show.
Oh, okay.
He's
so
awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to see. What
those guys are good. Those guys are great. Also, my wife recommended Largo. Maybe you could do it at Largo. That'd be awesome.
Is that a good venue?
Oh, it's a great venue. You got to go check it out sometime.
But how big is it though?
It's pretty big. I mean, it's not. Maybe it's not big enough, but it's super cool, that place over there. Also,
I will definitely check it. Tell your wife. Oh, she's here. Well, tell her thank you, because I need all the input I can.
I will. And the Elysian. Have you done the Elysian?
No, I haven't.
Theater. That's another place. I don't know. There's a lot of cool places.
You know what? God damn it! All right, God damn it! I'm gonna the Elysian.
The
Theater?
Elysian. I haven't been over there, but that's a happening place. Also, the Gary Marshall Theater is another place.
I checked that one out.
Yeah,
they want $12,000.
Oh, they do. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, how about no? How about no? My budget for the venue is we hovering around 5 to 7 tops.
Yeah. Okay.
Because but 12,000, well, too much.
That is
but the Largo and the Elysian Theater.
Yeah.
I'll be on that today. I literally sent Keita some of the stuff, and then we got to worry about the cameras, and then after that promoting it, and then me tightening the set, and then getting ready for it, shoot it, and I'm deciding if I want to go back to Amazon Prime or Apple TV, because YouTube is killing it right now. Comics that release their stuff on YouTube
really
are killing it. These the comics I've been seeing, some people get 100,000 views, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna decide then, but see what happens.
I love it. Well, we're looking forward to it. I'm going to end the show with a dance break. We're going to play actually a choir. They're called One Voice.
Really?
One Voice Children. Yeah, it's going to be a choir. And we're going to listen to these guys. They're doing a well-known song by Katy Perry's song Roar. I'm doing it. There's their vision. Our vision is a world where children lead out in creating a kind and understanding community for all through genuine, purposeful, and heartfelt communication. The youth around us are leaders of tomorrow, and One Voice Children invites the world to start listening to their voices today. And this is
excellent.
Yeah, this is cool. And it's also Women's History Month, so enjoy this. And thank you so much for being on the show. Really,
you know what? I got to tell you something. I've done this week I've done 4 of these.
Wow.
And this one was the most loose. The other ones, they were a little bit more, so you started comedy. Blah, 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 blah,
it's hard not to do that. You know what I mean? Like you get in a rut. People get in a
But you didn't. You didn't do it.
Thanks, man.
You started talking about serial killers. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
I try and let the thing go. You know what I do is like what we were talking about. I prepare and, I know about the person. I maybe write some questions, but then I just let it go, and just like, where's this going to go? That's my
see that was super chill. That was super chill.
Well, it's great having you on. All right, here we go. Dance break time. This is going to be like, I'll just be quiet about it because it's nice.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agree politely.
I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing,
so I fell for everything.
You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. To hear my voice, to hear that sound.